I don't want to see a black man who came so far, almost to $1 billion, fall down. That's our inspiration for. It ain't too many of us. I don't want to see they took Kanye down. We forgot about Kanye, and the good thing he able to do his own, man. That's how I look at it, man. We losing another billionaire over allegations at this point. Still ain't no criminal charges. You know what I'm saying? We only got about 1 billionaire left. Who? Jay-Z? That's the only motherfucker left. Everybody else, let's take the off of it and who that person is, right? Man, listen, if look at who is wishing this dude fail. You know what I'm saying? It's his own people. It's his own people cheering him, laughing, and Diddy did it and coming up with new slogans for him. It's his own people, man. Like, so take note of this. Man, you would think the motherfucker, he thought a year or two ago when we were popping Ciroc, he thought that we would ride or die for him, man. Like, he thought that the motherfucking world of hip-hop would stay down and over, you know, especially without him having a case, like, especially without him having a case, he would think, hey, man, motherfucker gonna ride for me. I live for this hip-hop shit. I lived and died this shit. The hip-hop community is gonna ride for my innocence. He would assume, I'm sure. Say if he did that, then whatever he get. But so far, I haven't seen no criminal charges. So out for that, I'ma just sit back and hope for the best, you know? I don't want to see nobody go down, man. And for people to celebrate that, love that, want to see that, is weird to me, man. So, like, it made me want to stay in the house. And people you would never knew they existed want to see this man, whatever. If you work for me, if I came up under you and you over me, fuck you. I don't want to do no business with you. Fuck you. I don't want to see you in the streets. But do I want to see you go to jail for life? Nigga, like, you help me, you're part of my play, regardless if I like you not.
Why is it that the black community is so hell-bent on defending the wrong people? I see this time and time again in the black community where the criminals are the ones that always get defended. The actual victims of crime, of violence, like actual black innocent people, rarely get talked about. You know why? Because the people committing the crimes in the black community tend to be other black people. But we don't ever talk about that. But when it's the cops involved, even if the black person was in the wrong, we somehow got to defend this person because they're black and we have to be against the cops, even if they were a piece of shit. Why is Slim Thug here trying to defend Puff Daddy? Why is he trying to defend P. Diddy? He is correct that these are just allegations at this point. These are just a lawsuit. But you have to think, when the feds come and raid you, mind you, the feds, like I said in my last video, the feds have a 99% conviction rate when it comes to their cases. Do you think that the feds are just going to show up to Diddy's house and raid it for no reason whatsoever? They just decided to get up one day and say, you know what, let's go raid his home. You think that's something that happened overnight? This is probably something that's been going on for months, if not years, that they've been investigating Diddy for this stuff. So at some point, we've got to take a look at these people and say, maybe he fucking did it. Maybe he is a piece of shit. Maybe he is that piece of shit that everyone is talking about. If multiple people have come out and accused Diddy of committing crimes, the common denominator here is Diddy. Now, I know, again, this is all alleged. He hasn't been charged with anything. But at some point, well, you got to let the investigation go. And you want to defend him? Oh, he shouldn't go down because he's a billionaire? Who gives a fuck? Because he's a black billionaire. So because he's a black billionaire, that should excuse all the nasty behavior that he's been accused of. Again, just accused. We will see if this ever goes to court or if this ever goes to trial, what happens to Diddy and what comes out. But you can't say, well, he shouldn't be, we should just forget whatever he did because he's black and he's a billionaire and there's not many of us. Well, maybe you shouldn't be out there doing piece of shit crimes. Maybe you shouldn't be out there sex trafficking and having freak-offs in your mansions and recording other people so that you have blackmail on them. Because that's what's being alleged now. In the lawsuit, if you read the lawsuit, I'm going to put it on the screen. 50 Cent put this on his Instagram. In the lawsuit, it alleges that P. Diddy had cameras in his house. Secret cameras recording everything and everyone that was in his home. Especially during his freak-offs. He would have leverage over them. Because why else would you have cameras in your home? There should be no reason to have any cameras in your home. Hidden cameras at that. if you aren't planning to use that as some sort of leverage to blackmail people into doing the things that you want them to do. And now that it's all coming to light, it's looking really bad for Diddy. We shouldn't be defending him. Just because Diddy looked out for you, Slim Thug, doesn't excuse, or he looked out for many people, whatever he did, whatever good he did, doesn't excuse the nasty shit that he's being accused of. And again, it's allegations, so we will see. Eventually, all of it will come out, and we will find out the truth. But until then, this is what we have to go off on. And people making memes online, you're really worried about that? People get memed all the time. It's the internet. That's literally what's gonna happen with anything that's big. Memes come and go. There's memes from like 2012 that nobody even gives a fuck anymore. Yet at the time, they were popular. And I hate this notion that black people aren't allowed to criticize other black people. Why? How are black people gonna better their community if the black people themselves can't criticize when people within their community are doing wrong? And this is why the black community never advances, never does anything to become better, because you're not allowed to, as a black person, tell another black person, hey, you're wrong and you're fucked up for this, and you're ruining the community, and you're ruining our image. Because if not, you're labeled an Uncle Tom, you're labeled a sellout, because how dare you criticize the community? Because I guess it's wrong for you as a person to want better for your community. So we shouldn't be holding other black people accountable. It's basically what Slim Thug is saying. And I hear that not just from Slim Thug, I hear that from a lot of black people. A lot of black people have this sick mentality where they believe that you're not allowed to criticize black people because they're black. Sort of like the Keith Lee situation a couple months ago. How Ocho Cinco came on his show and said that he didn't like that Keith Lee was criticizing the restaurants in Atlanta. Because how dare you criticize black-owned businesses as a black man? So he's not allowed to have an opinion if he gets bad service because the owners of the restaurant are black? Is that what I'm hearing? Why is that? Are you stupid? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You cannot expect to improve as a people if you are unable to receive criticism and improve based on that criticism. You will just continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And that's what's truly sad about this whole thing.
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
So everybody's talking about this, especially on social media right now. Sean Combs, Diddy, accused of all kinds of things, including human trafficking.
His homes have been raided by federal agents. They even intercepted his plane on a tarmac and arrested his associate in Miami.
Right now, let's bring in TMZ's Branson Kirk to talk more about it. Thank you for being here. All his troubles stem from an explosive lawsuit. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I mean, after this, these Mondays and these raids were intense. As we know, Miami, his home was raided as well as his Los Angeles home on Monday. Well, we are learning a little bit more information about all of this, what went down, as well as some new footage and some new photographs that TMZ has obtained. Well, Diddy, during the raid, was intercepted by federal agents on the tarmac, actually out in Miami at one of the airports out there. He was about to aboard a private jet. He was with some of his family, some of his crew, and federal agents intercepted him. And it's really interesting. Actually, one of his associates was arrested on charges of possibly being a mule, on possible, drug charges and so forth. Yeah, Brendan Paul actually has been named in one of the lawsuits that is been targeted towards Diddy. But no, we're learning a little bit more information about the raid. TMZ obtained video actually of that raid here in Los Angeles. The aftermath of his home, you can see hard drives just torn apart. You can see papers strewn about. You can see several different pieces of the home, safes broken into as well. So obviously, federal investigators really felt like they had, probable cause to go in there and look for what they were looking for, and they did not hold back in their attempt to look for what they were looking for. We don't know exactly what they were looking for, but we know that this is all tied to all those civil lawsuits that he has faced the last few months, tied to sex trafficking allegations and, several other heinous crimes that have been targeted towards him. But Diddy has really been responding and saying that he remains innocent. This is a witch hunt. He's being railroaded by the government and so forth. So that's how Diddy feels right now. But at the moment, he has not been arrested and he is still in the States.
Definitely will develop some insane allegations, though, for sure. We'll see what happens.